This is Career Coaching X's and O's, and I'm your host, Mark Anthony Peterson, founder and thought leader at Sierra Consulting, a small business strategy and technology consulting firm. A small part of our practice is executive coaching. These episodes are the summation of some of those sessions. In this episode, we're going to give you 10 ways to defeat a bully negotiator. Now, what is a bully negotiator? A bully negotiator is someone who's going to seek to intimidate you in order to get what they want in a negotiation. They will seek impossible terms in hopes of getting great terms out of you that you wouldn't ordinarily give in a negotiation. They're going to batter you and push you to act like a battered spouse and give them what they want so that they will stop battering you in the negotiation. And what do I mean by battering you? They'll start first with insulting your intelligence. They'll insult your organization. They'll threaten to take this so-called great deal to another company. These bully negotiators will want to quickly escalate the negotiations to your boss in order to push you back on your heels and get you to agree to terms that you wouldn't necessarily accept, putting you in conflict with your organization and putting them in the position of honoring terms that you never should have accepted in the first place. As executives seeking the corner office, you're going to have to negotiate deals on behalf of your organization. Or as a small business owner, you're going to have to negotiate deals on behalf of your business. And if you don't get it right, these bully negotiators can take advantage of you and your organization. I want to give you 10 ways that you can defeat a bully negotiator. First, you have to communicate with your entire team, including your manager and your manager's manager, that you're dealing with a bully negotiator and that they should expect that this person is going to insult you, the organization, them, and try to do everything they can to intimidate the organization into accepting bad deal terms. It's imperative that everybody be on the same page because you have to pin in this bully negotiator and keep them from finding the weak spots in the organization where they think they can get good deal terms. So start first with communicating to everybody on the team that you are dealing with a bully negotiator. Because remember, their first tactic is to try to escalate beyond you in hopes of getting you to start giving them terms that you should not accept. 2, stay calm, stay confident, and care, but not that much. If you're not confident, they can sense that, and they're going to go for the jugular, trying to push you back further and further on your heels and get you uncomfortable negotiating deals where you're truly the expert. So you have to stay calm. You have to care about the deal, but not care that much. Now, what do I mean by that? When they're ready to escalate to your bosses, you say, fine, let's do that. Let's have that discussion. Because you've already communicated and gotten everyone on the same page, so you're not afraid to let your bosses know that this bully negotiator wants to widen the audience and widen the scope of the negotiations. So you care, but you don't care that much. So they can't block you in and intimidate you into accepting bad deal terms. What's the third thing? Have a plan. Have a plan A and a plan B when you go into the negotiations. Never start a negotiation without having an objective in mind and a path for achieving that objective. Have a plan A and a plan B. Never negotiate against yourself. If you walk into a deal like that with a bully negotiator, they will eat your lunch because you will find yourself negotiating on their terms, on their turf, with their language, and you will quickly find yourself losing the negotiation. Number 4, do your research on the client and do your research on the person who is doing the negotiation. That will help you understand their negotiating tactics and the way they may be trying to push you into a deal that may not be beneficial to your organization. I had to negotiate a deal like this once, where we were looking to sign a contract to give us access to some international markets. After researching the company, I realized that they had negotiated similar deals with other competitors. Then I realized that we could not get what we wanted out of the deal, which was exclusive access to information that would give us an edge in that market. Without exclusive access, the deal just was not that valuable. So I could walk into these negotiations and care, but not that much, because a large percentage of what I wanted out of the relationship was not available to me. So I came up with a plan B. I would not have known that had I not done the research on the company and the person doing the negotiation. You should do that too. What's number 5? Know your deal and know your company's core competencies. You can accept some great deal terms, but if your company can't implement those terms or monitor the deal that you just completed with a partner, it's not worth the paper it's written on. So know what you're capable of executing before you go in and accept great deal terms. You'll find this problem even with the biggest of organizations. Walmart negotiated terms with many international factories to produce products for their stores. They didn't have a compliance team in country to monitor the labor and the workforce in those factories. It was only after third-party organizations reported the work violations that Walmart realized that they had a problem. They negotiated a deal, a great deal, that they didn't have the core capabilities to monitor. And that's a problem. So know your company's core competencies before you accept deal terms that are too good to be true. What's number 6? Number 6, remember, the bully wants to do business with you, so you must be valuable. They're going to insult you. They're going to insult your intelligence. They're going to say your organization's not capable or competent. So why are they on the phone with you? Why are they threatening to walk away, but still remain in the negotiation week after week? Because there is something valuable about you and your organization, and you have to keep that at the forefront when negotiating. Because that keeps you calm and keeps you confident and allows you to deflect their negative comments back onto them. Remember that saying? I'm rubber, you're glue. What you say bounces off me and sticks to you. That's what you're aiming for when dealing with a bully negotiator. Building off number 6, the 7th thing you should do is know the power of the word N-O, no. No is not the end of the negotiation. In fact, it opens the door to what you believe to be valuable. So be willing to walk and be willing to let them walk. If they're hell-bent on walking away from the table because you won't give them an impossible deal term, let them walk. I've been in 3 negotiations where I've had 3 major Fortune 500 companies walk away from my startup. A major package delivery company put deal terms in front of me that would have required me to run my service for free for them for a year in order to prove that I was capable of managing their business. Running it for a year for free would have meant almost $1 million investment in their organization and $1 million shift of cost off of their income statement onto mine. You don't need that many transactions in order to prove that I'm capable of managing their business. I had customers who were larger than them and who had been running them successfully for years, and they were even willing to get on the phone and provide them references. They weren't looking to negotiate. They wanted to get a real hard dollar savings on the back of their vendors. So we walked. We knew we could provide better service than any other vendor, and a year later they came back with that term stricken from the contract. The same thing happened with a major defense contractor for a government contract where they wanted us to partner with them to provide services to a government agency. The deal was we provide the labor and use their system. That was a non-starter. I didn't run a staffing agency. We had a software platform that was better than theirs, that was winning more contracts, and we turned that down flat. That was a $10 million opportunity on the top line, but I knew if we took that contract on, we would lose money and it would more than likely destroy our company. Again, a year later, the contract was reopened because they couldn't fulfill it, and we got it on our terms. And finally, a major brokerage firm, same scenario, wanted us to change the way we operated our business 100% in order to service their book of business. We walked. That was a non-starter. We built a system that works successfully for other brokerage firms, larger than them, with more offices, with more transactions, and they refused to do business the way we knew worked well for the industry. We walked. They found themselves in the middle of a crisis when FINRA required that agents who managed asset-backed insurance products had to be screened and fingerprinted. They had very little time to comply, and they came knocking on our doors. Not only did we complete the contract, but we completed it for a premium because they needed it done in a very short period of time. I understood the power of no. No meant saving my people, my business, and my margins, and when customers didn't fit that mold, I was more than happy to walk away from the negotiation table. What's the eighth thing you should do when dealing with a bully negotiator? I want you to be able to label those emotions and serve them right back at them as if you're playing tennis. Use words like, it seems like, or it sounds like, or it looks like when they get angry and start insulting you. So I would say, it seems like you're angry at this term. Or it sounds like you're frustrated because we choose to do business this way. By serving their emotion back to them, it makes them realize how childish they sound and how little you care about that emotion that they're serving up to you. It's a powerful tactic. It also works well on your kids. Number 9, don't be afraid of silence. When you serve those emotions back to a bully negotiator, go silent. Let them respond. Let them react. Let the room go silent. Don't overcompensate by trying to fill the silence with words that may get you in trouble. Silence. Let it be your friend. Number 10 is something that I learned from David Eckhoff when I attended the Boomtown Farm Accelerator in 2019. And it's the magic question that you should ask every bully negotiator. And that question is, how am I supposed to do that? When they ask for impossible terms, you turn and ask, how am I supposed to do that? You give them the onus to explain how your organization is supposed to implement an impossible request. So in the case of that major brokerage firm that I mentioned earlier, when they wanted me to stop doing business the way I was doing it with every other brokerage firm and dedicate teams to work with them exclusively, that's exactly the question I posed to them. How am I supposed to stop my business, take all the people who are servicing hundreds of other clients, and dedicate them to you and still stay in business? How am I supposed to do that? That phrase freezes a bully in their tracks, or it exposes them for what they really are, which gives you more confidence to walk away from the table. Now, for those of you who are just starting to negotiate and you're the junior member on the team, David Eckhoff also gave me a great resource that I'm going to pass along to you. It's called the Daily Rejection-Challenge. The Daily Rejection-Challenge is a website that gives you 100 days of challenges that you can take in order to improve your negotiating skills. Some examples are: go to Walmart and ask to make an announcement over the PA system. You may be rejected, but the goal of the Rejection Challenge is to improve your negotiating skills to the point where you can succeed at some of these impossible tasks. Check the show notes. I'm going to put a link in the show notes where I asked to make an announcement over the PA system at Walmart. I want you to see the response and see what happened. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am going to try to go through all 100 of those negotiating tactics and capture them on film so that you can see that you can become a better negotiator through practice. I hope you found this episode helpful. If so, hit subscribe. I know you'll share this episode with your colleagues because the best people listen to this podcast. Tell us the issues you're struggling with in your career and we will research them. And we might even do a podcast episode about it. If you need more support in your career, please find us on the web at ceyero.com. CEYERO.com. And let us help you develop a plan for your career. If you like this podcast, you may also like some of my other shows. Guerrillapreneur, the art of waging small business warfare. If you're an entrepreneur and you're a maverick, that's the podcast for you. If you're not a maverick, then you might not want to go up into that podcast. Or gigging, everything in the sharing economy. If you want more views, news, opinions, and predictions about the sharing economy, that's the right podcast for you. I'll put links to both shows in the show notes. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Ceyero Consulting. This has been Career Coaching X's and O's, and I am your host, Mark Anthony Peterson, founder and thought leader at Ceyero Consulting.